mirrored for
Well,
you?
I'm trying to figure out if Caleb's shirt is inside
It
out.
goes,
He
it goes-
claims it's not.
Yeah, it's not inside out. YAK.
But for me, it kind of looks like there's a K
Where I'm pointing?
right here.
Where I'm pointing?
Where you're pointing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Y.
Okay, so I think... Okay, maybe you're not mirrored. What about me?
Yours
What
is the C. The C is correct.
C is facing the right way.
Yes.
The car is on the heart.
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting. Because, yeah, I guess yours is facing the right way. But you're saying for you, yours is mirrored.
Yeah, it's going backwards.
But mine is not.
Yeah. So I think maybe I'm mirrored right now.
How did we just notice? I mean, I just noticed. I've never
Is
noticed.
yours mirrored for you?
I'm mirrored for me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess it just...
So you're mirrored for yourself, but the other person is
Yes.
not mirrored.
Yeah.
That's how Riverside does it.
Great. Thanks, Riverside.
Great. Yeah.
I don't know how we just realized this.
Yeah. Sports show, by the way.
Sports. This is...
Speaking of sports and gambling are hand in hand. Does anyone have a futures bet on Caleb to ever not get cut off by the intro?
You're the one that controls the intro.
I know, but there's like a 1 second lag from when you hit it to when it plays. So I'll hit it in a dead spot.
You will never get cut off by this.
Because I know that it's about to play in like a second.
Yeah.
But I hit it and then in like a quick dead spot where I'm like, I'll sneak it in right here. And then and in that little like 1 or half second delay, you start to say something, you get cut off every single time.
Every time. Because guess what? Podcast, we have to talk.
And we have to play. I mean, technically, we don't have to play our intro, but we do. We do.
I was gonna say this is the most yap intro of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a yap than sports. Yeah. But
speaking of intros, though,
we don't really have an intro.
We don't really have one for this show.
We don't have
also,
one.
no Tanner.
No Tanner this week.
No Tanner this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of ball to talk. Probably gonna be a quick. I mean, we're in that time of the year where a lot of these sports ones are probably gonna be quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the finals a little bit. We're gonna talk probably about Aaron Rodgers getting married to a witch. Oh, did he sign somewhere? Just the news for me was that he married a witch.
Is it a witch? I don't even know who he's married.
So, by all we know, it appears to be a witch.
Okay. Good for him.
I will look into that.
Good for him.
In real time. Which, hear me out. Steelers Super Bowl future bet?
Some dark magic?
Dark magic? I mean, come on. I would argue Mahomes has had some kind of witch like hiding in his basement working for him for years now.
Honestly, probably. But I'll start talking
speaking of weird, Aaron Rodgers' wife's name is Brittany. I was just saying Mahomes has a witch.
is Aaron Rodgers' wife's name Brittany?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers' wife's name is Brittany.
Interesting.
But it's spelled the weirdest way ever. Brittani.
Of course. That's the most Aaron Rodgers story of aside from where I saw today, I don't know how real it was, that Aaron Rodgers, like almost immediately after he signed his contract, said that he was going to have to take some personal days at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be taking some personal days eventually.
So according to an article from September of 2024, what does it say her name is? Blue of Earth. So I don't know if she's Blue of Rodgers now. Blue of Earth was referred to as Rodgers' ex-girlfriend as of September of last year. So anything's on the table. He could have got back together with the witch, and they could have got married. She apparently claims that she does not identify as a witch, despite allegations.
She's a wizard.
I mean, her name is Blue of Earth.
A warlock.
Blue of Earth. So, Aaron Rodgers probably, if that's his ex, he probably left her because she was too flat.
Yeah. Oh man, that was
thoughts on
boo,
Rodgers to the Steelers.
boo, boo.
You didn't catch that. You were booing Rodgers. Sneak that in there.
Yep.
I said thoughts on Rodgers to the Steelers while you were booing.
I mean, it's whatever. It's gonna be a year. I don't know. All I have to say is when Brett Favre left, went and played for the Jets, didn't do that great. Right? The Jets teams were not that great.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he went to the Vikings, where did the Vikings make it?
To the championship game.
They made it to the championship game
during
should have won.
I mean, Rodgers, Favre. I said
they should have.
Big.
But there was some, there was a lot going on that year with the Saints.
Yeah, there was a little bit of headhunting.
Little headhunting.
Kill the head and the body will die.
Yep.
I think
so if we're yep. So if we're thinking that, like, if I have an AFC Championship run this year, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl, I would assume so.
Yeah, so just going off of what has happened in the past.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's not intended to be mean, but it might be mean. So you're not listening to this. One, it's different because Favre, the Jets were doing really good until Favre got hurt, and then he got hurt and they were bad, even though he played through a torn rotator cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you talking? Is there someone in the room? Because you weren't listening to that. Two, this is dumb. I don't like it. I don't like that they signed Rodgers. I would have just rolled with Rudolph or Howard, specifically Howard. And if they sucked, oh well. And I have a high draft pick, because the problem is that the Steelers have been stretching out this post-Ben era where they're trying to find someone to scrape together a contending team. And they're trying to find someone else's leftover so they can plug in and say, he'll do better here, he'll do better here. And at some point, you have to just bite the bullet and roll with what you have. And if it works, on the off chance that it works, that your late round draft pick is a diamond in the rough, that's fantastic. And if it doesn't, you should, in theory, be in position to draft your next franchise guy. And next year's draft is projected to be a better QB draft than this year's was. Whereas when they tried to do that and draft someone high, they kind of forced their hand and drafted Kenny Pickett, who really never should have been a first-round pick. I speak from experience because in the many times the Bills tried to draft a franchise QB, they did that multiple times. I would say the most recent one was E.J. Manuel, who was never supposed to be a first-round pick, but it was a weak QB class. We had to take a QB.
They drafted him very high, right?
E.J. Manuel was the 13th pick, I think.
Okay, so not crazy high.
Pretty high, but he was the first QB off the board that draft.
I don't necessarily hate it because I think they really like Will Howard. And I don't think they want to throw him out to the Wolves season 1. So getting a guy that can start and also be a mentor, which according to the Standard 412 Twitter page, Aaron Rodgers said, Will's a good kid. Thought he looked good today. I'm going to be with him every single day and every single meeting. I'm going to help him out as much as I can, which is a great, sounds great on paper. So if he can, Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, multiple time MVP. If he can help Will Howard grow and develop this year, you don't need a quarterback next class.
Yeah, hopefully Rodgers is at that age now where he doesn't have to feel threatened by his young backup. He can just be like, I want to help him. I'm not playing much longer.
Yeah, which is the opposite of what Joe Flacco is feeling.
Which I
in the Browns
can totally see either approach. I totally understand both approaches. Especially I loved Flacco's response when that guy asked him about it. He's like, he basically like, that question is a trap.
Yeah.
Because you're either going to force me to say that I don't care about my job and starting, or that I'm just this rude vet that doesn't care about the young guys. Yeah. He's like, I'll teach them anything they want to know. I'll gladly answer their question, but I am trying to start.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. My job is not to coach them.
I must have seen
which was cool.
Very edited version of that.
I'm paraphrasing, but that was basically what he was saying.
Yeah, I saw a paraphrase version. That was just the first part of the second part of I'm going to start. I'm here to start.
Oh yeah, no, he had a more elaborate answer that was very good. Where he basically called the reporter out, which was a little unfair because it's a very common question. But he was like, "You guys love to ask this to guys in my position because you're going to get a headline no matter what my answer is."
Yeah,
he did give him a headline.
Yeah, he did. But no,
But yeah, and then on the flip side, Will Howard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It actually makes me excited to watch the Steelers play this year because I told you that there was no way I could watch a full season of Mason Rudolph. Like, that would be miserable.
But Will Howard would have been exciting.
Will Howard would have been exciting. But if he goes out there as a rookie and struggles, I think he just needs to develop. He's a championship winning quarterback, but I think he still has time to develop.
There is an unpopular but intriguing theory, and I don't know who I first heard say it.
That Skylar Thompson is going to be the starting
quarterback. I think I kind of like it. No, that would be electric. It's a saying basically that because all the people that are like, I don't want to put my young QB in a bad spot and ruin his confidence, and then he sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I do know.
If he can't handle playing bad, he's not the right guy.
That's true.
Like, he should be able to handle the adversity and bounce back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah. But
I mean, it would be a little scary to commit to that, but
I'm thinking of the side of learning how to read defenses, learning how to be a leader, stuff like that. Not necessarily.
Actually, I would. Here's what Mike Tomlin should do. Anytime Rodgers is trying to teach him how to be a leader, step in and like interrupt him with some kind of conspiracy theory or something distracting. Because I think Will Howard's a phenomenal leader.
Yeah.
But when he wants to teach him about strictly football stuff, step away.
Yeah.
And make sure he's teaching.
Yeah.
Also, you're not a real Steelers fan, by the way.
Why?
Or at least not a real Rodgers fan. Because you're wearing Bluetooth headphones.
Oh, yep.
So, real Steelers fans would throw away their Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, not going to do that.
I would have been I would have respected it a lot if you came on here with wired headphones for the first time. We're like,
I didn't even know about that.
Rodgers. I think he first went viral for that whole take like a year or two ago.
Okay.
But I think rehashed it recently, or maybe the aggregators did.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he doesn't wear Bluetooth headphones because it messes with your brain frequency. It's bad for your brain.
Yeah. Also, everybody's worried about TJ Watt. TJ Watt's going to play for the Steelers this year. This happened like 2 years ago.
When he was 2 years younger, and it was made more sense to give him a big contract.
He'll be fine. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna play.
He'll be fined when he doesn't show up to camp.
Yeah, well, he's gonna end up playing. He's gonna play for the Steelers. He's gonna have a good year.
And then at the deadline, when he gets traded to Arizona, it's gonna be electric.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah. We talked about on here, like, I was talking with Jimmy and Tommy about some places that would just look so ugly.
Anywhere but Pittsburgh.
Fair. But, like, he would look it would look okay on either of his brother's teams, because we've seen a lot.
Yeah.
So it would, not stand out as really bad.
Yeah.
Seattle would be awful.
Yeah. The
division doesn't really count.
He would look good in a Rams jersey.
He would. He would kind of look good in a Rams jersey. That's true. Honestly, and the Niners. That whole division except Seattle.
Except for Seattle. He would look awful in a Dolphins uniform.
Oh, my gosh. You want to talk about the pictures of the washed athletes when they go to the team that they were washed on? If he played for the Dolphins, I think he would look the same in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Would look like that.
I think
he would look awesome in a Packers uniform.
Yeah, Packers, Jags. I think Jags would look good.
Specifically
the black jersey, not just because it's a black jersey. Like, I'm thinking
that's true. He would look
the
like
teal
a
jersey,
horrible player in all the other.
Yeah,
but he would look sick in the retro jerseys.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I would look sick in the retro jerseys.
I think he would look bad. I mean, obviously you said the division, so not that. Giants, I don't think he'd look that good.
No. He might be able to pull off Dallas. Not that he would go there, but
not that he
visually.
would, but yeah. Trade him for Micah Parsons straight up right now.
Eagles would look kind of sick.
Eagles would look sick. We're really just going through. We're going through and being like, what teams are cool, have cool uniforms?
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing. Because then I was going to say Raiders. Raiders would be sick. Yeah, because the Raiders have cool uniforms.
What teams have classic cool uniforms?
I'll say it. A team whose uniforms I love because I'm biased. I don't think he would look that good in a Bills uniform.
I was going to say it. I didn't want to.
I would love to see him in a Bills uniform, but I don't think it would look like. It wouldn't be like bad like Seattle, but I don't think it would be specifically good.
Yeah,
but I'd like to see it anyway.
I didn't want to rain on your parade too fast, but I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah, no, I don't. He's
just because I don't think Von Miller looked great in a Bills uniform either.
Yeah,
The number 40 also threw me off.
It's his college number.
Yeah, it was weird.
58 would have looked better, but
yeah,
Milano.
Yeah. But anyway, I think he's going to play.
Rodgers.
I think the Steelers are going to have. I want to go back and relook at what I think the Steelers' record's going to be with Rodgers.
Yeah,
I trust him a lot more than Mason Rudolph.
That's fair. That's probably a good guideline.
The thing is, the main thought going through my head with walking Mason Rudolph out there was the Titans had the first pick last year.
Yeah, but Rudolph didn't play all the games.
I know, but he didn't win a lot of them.
That is very true.
And they do have a worse team overall. But still, I was just like, man.
Titans, by the way, I'm going to do it again. If you remember this time last year, we didn't have a show, but I was high on the Titans.
Yep. Oh, yeah, because you loved Will Levis.
I have them winning the division this year.
Will Levis is going to be a Brown at some point, right?
He's destined to be a Cleveland Brown.
He's a Cleveland Brown.
He is destined for it. Yeah.
Great. Well, let's get through. Let's talk some NBA Finals so we can keep it short this week. Yeah.
So, before we move on to NFL, two things. One, James Cook was asked why he showed up to minicamp despite being in a holdout, and he said, "I like my money. That's why I'm here."
Yeah, I like my money.
Kind of respect it. Almost like a modern age. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I respect it. I like money too. So, shout out to James Cook. Let James cook. But also, I've heard there was a report from a Buffalo radio host. He said I don't know if it was a legit report or he was just getting the vibe, but he said he's believing that not only will James Cook not give Buffalo a so-called, hometown discount where you're already playing, but he may actually want the Bills to pay more than anyone else because he doesn't like living in Buffalo. So that's not great.
Also, I was on Twitter. I was just on Twitter. This is way out of left field. I didn't realize you put silly bands on.
On Shane Gillis in the thumbnail.
Shane Gillis. Sorry, that was crazy.
Well, on me as Shane Gillis with you as
you should have gave him. You should give him a Yelling at Pigeon shirt.
I almost did.
Yeah,
but I didn't want to. I didn't feel like going through to erase his Valley Forge. That's barely on there.
Yeah, it's like
so I was like that.
But anyway, I understand that from James Cook. I'm sure. I mean, he's from Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo. As someone who lived in New York this winter after living in Florida for the last 3, the winter's a little tough.
Yeah,
a little tough. But if I was making as much money as James Cook is, I would be okay.
Yeah, exactly. But if you could make more money to go somewhere else.
True.
So we'll see. It doesn't seem like he's going to be there long term. I hope he is, but not if we have to overpay because you can get combined production out of your running backs if you have to. Mm-hmm. You can scrape by that way. So we'll see. Last thing I had on NFL before we get to NBA real quick, and then we will wrap things up. Just a thought that occurred to me this week. I put it in my notes. The only note I have for this show. Reminder: call Lamar Jackson Lamb Jack more often. We keep forgetting.
Yeah, we keep forgetting to call him Lamb Jack.
So shout out to Lamb Jack.
Where did we even see? We saw someone tweet about it or something.
Guy online referred to him as Lamb Jack, and we were like, "Well, that's his name now." Because
we'd never call him that.
I think it was some fantasy show. They're like, "Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna want to target Lamb Jack because you're getting the rushing yards and the passing." We're like, "That's cool, doing that." So he's Lamb Jack, and just wanted to remind everybody to call him Lamb Jack more often.
Yep,
I will be trying to remember to do that as well.
NBA
Finals. Pacers with one of the most memorable game ones ever. One of the most memorable
I didn't even get to watch
NBA
all of it.
Playoff games ever. It was incredible. Obviously, at this point, it's been a while, so I'm sure everyone's heard about it.
It's been a while.
Halliburton hits the 2-point jumper with 0.3 seconds to go. Just the Pacers just close out close games. If you leave them in striking distance, they're going to strike.
You have to win by 15 points. Like I saw a stat that they're the first team to ever lose a game in each series by 15 points. And be in the finals.
Yeah,
but that's what you have to do to beat them. You have to score that many more points than them.
Yeah, they're just that good down the stretch if you let them get close. Game 2 obviously didn't go quite as well. They got beat pretty handedly. Thunder had control of that game pretty much after about not even the full first quarter. They were already in control and never left. But we do have game 3
in
tonight,
Indiana.
last night in Indy. I am torn here because I think I want to say the Pacers will have won this when you're listening to it.
I think so too. I think,
but I feel like that might be my heart talking. The basketball fan in me thinking like, "Oh, Pacers first game in Indy of the series,
that's what I'm thinking. I think
finals."
And I think that's what you have to go with.
But the Thunder also won like 68 games for a reason.
That's true.
I think they're 80, 81, and 13 in their last.
I do think they split here. I think it's going to be 2-2 going back to OKC.
Yeah.
I don't think Indy's going to lose 3. One, I don't think they're going to lose 3 games in a row. And I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row in Indy.
Yeah. I mean, I did originally say going in it would be Thunder in 5 or 6. So, by that logic, that would explain why I'm torn right here because I couldn't decide between 5 or 6. But I do think that Indy needs someone to step up because even in game 1, it was kind of even Tyrese Halliburton didn't have like an amazing game. He was efficient and he was great at the end, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for hopefully biasly Andrew Nembhard to have stepped up in this game because I have a bet on him to win Finals MVP.
Yeah.
And I put $10 on it to win $5,000. And right now, they're offering me $54 to get out. So they're feeling a little scared. And honestly, after the other night's game, immediately after it ended, they were offering me 77.
Oh.
I don't know why it shifted that drastically without any ball being played, but
we need him to hit a couple threes.
Yeah. I mean, he's been playing good. He's not racking up the score portion of the stat sheet, but playing great on defense. Game 1, he was kind of the unsung hero. We talked about Nesmith being the sung hero of Game 1 of the conference finals. Nembhard was kind of the unsung hero of Game 1 of the NBA finals because he put SGA on an absolute island and hit a step back 3 on him with like a minute left. And then goes down. I don't remember the Thunder possession immediately following, but when they came back, Nembhard did have a really bad 3. I will give him that. But then in the most crucial moment when the Thunder had a chance to go up by 3, they put the ball in the MVP's hands, ISO with Nembhard, and he gave him a lot of trouble, and he did not get a good look, and he missed the shot. So Nembhard's been huge for them in this series so far, and I look for him to step that up even more, hopefully on the offensive end last night, so that my MVP can hopefully cash.
Yeah, that would be sick. That'd be a cool pick.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would at some point have to consider cashing out if the offer got high enough because the Thunder should win this series. But I guess if the offer is that high, the Pacers are probably winning, like at that time, winning the series. So we'll see. I'm not historically a cash out guy, so we'll see if I can hold on to that. But yeah, it's finals. It's tough because I don't want to update too much when by the time this comes out, Game 3 will have been played.
Yeah.
So it's timed horribly. But yeah, do you want to speed run a grid?
Yes.
A grid? Real quick.
Are we going
speed run a grid? Speed run a grid real quick.
Are we going Gwitty on them?
Okay.
I just had nothing.
Speed run.
I had nothing to say. I was like, I thought it was just going to be up for some reason, even though it's never just up. So
that's what she said. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Right. We're gonna need Ravens, Chiefs, Ravens, Bears, Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Chiefs, Lions, Bears, Lions, Dolphins, and then a Hall of Famer for the Chiefs, Bears, and Dolphins.
David Montgomery.
Start. Bears and Lions. Yeah. True. We're speed running.
We're speed running, so I'm not.
Yeah. Remember the run? How electric that was.
Yeah.
All right.
Who was the
Lions...
corner? Wasn't there a corner that played for the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah, there was. Oh.
Was it Marcus Peters?
Yeah, it was.
Is it 1-0?
There we go. Imagine all that for it to be wrong.
Yeah. Marcus Peters played for the
Marcus
Ravens
Peters.
and the Chiefs.
Peters. Bears Ravens, Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, yep. Mike Wallace for Dolphins, Ravens.
I had it. Yep, Dolphins, Ravens. Mike Wallace for Chiefs, Lions.
Whoa, that was only 8%?
What a pool. Chiefs, Lions.
Chiefs Hall of Fame. Let's just knock this out and go Tony Gonzalez. He's in, right?
Yeah. T-Gons. He better be. If he's not in, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, man.
That's funny. Tony Gonzalez?
I'm Tony Gonzalez. I mean,
Gale
Bears.
Sayers.
Gale Sayers, yeah.
I've yet to spell a single name correctly on the first try yet this whole time. Except they Dolphins Hall of Famer, none. No, I got a weird one.
Yeah, they love that.
That I hate. That is true. Thurman Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
One random, we talked about the pictures when someone is washed and goes to a team. He went there for one day.
Yeah.
Lions Chiefs. There's got to be. Trying to finish off the speed run.
Is there one of those
Haskell? Did he play for the Lions?
I was gonna say, was it one of those? I was gonna say, was there a quarterback from the 2010s?
Let's go with
Castle.
2010s. Because we're speed running. Let's just go with Castle. Unless you have a different idea.
Oh, I like it because I was going quarterback.
Money.
Yes.
Absolute speed run right there.
Not bad. That was a good speed run. Quick little episode for you guys this week. Yeah. No Tanner this week. I'm going to do an outro.
Something to wet the beak.
Yeah. I had to get on here and talk about Rodgers.
Yeah. So. All right, well, that was fun.
It is what it is. That's my quote card, that, Luke.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right. Well, that is all. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.